So this is what I think. I've been thinking that people are so used to the social media culture and like norms that they're starting to implement that same mode of functioning on social media to like their actual personal relationships. And one of the things that I think kind of displays that is this whole like, when can I cut somebody off culture?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we've been trained to like things and to not like things, right?
Yeah.
But then we've also been trained to follow things and then unfollow things, like at the click of a button. So I sometimes feel like, are we adopting those same habits, you know, like those social media norms and culture, like in the way that we're engaging people?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I think that's a good thought in terms of like trying to analyze it, but I actually disagree because like,
why?
For me, honestly, I was like super ratchet. Like if I didn't like you, like, or if you tried to be my friend and like I just wasn't feeling you, like I'm good. Like it didn't take a like or unlike button for me. Like this was before Facebook or any other kind of social media. I was very much, or if we were already friends and you just did something that just was like outright wrong, it was easy for me to just flip that switch and be like, well, we're clearly not friends because you totally just disrespected me. You know?
So it was like we're either friends or not friends, and if your actions look this way, then we're not friends.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
so
you were trash.
Yeah, it wasn't it wasn't a social media thing for me. It was just like, okay, well, if you can't respect me, and I think that like a lot of that comes from like my home culture, like in terms of like I'm from South America, and like in Guyana, the country where I'm from, we were very like direct and open and blunt with one another. So it's like,
okay. I would fit in there.
Come on.
Most likely.
Yeah. I see what you did there.
You know what I'm saying? Listen,
But
it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. And I mean, I guess.
But I think we, that whole, in our culture, it's just a very honest, open culture. So it's not like, it just more comes across as, oh, okay, I know where I stand with you, versus
why not just ask a question if there's been a misunderstanding, or like let somebody know you've been offended if they hurt you? Like, why not just do that?
I mean, I honestly didn't think like that until I became a Christian. Until I like literally like before Christ, I hated people. I was good.
Listen,
you know?
after Christ, I wasn't feeling them.
I was good. That's
I'm
hilarious.
kidding.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But I mean, like literally, like Christ came and changed my whole life, and like I think right at the time when I got saved, like he legit put a love in my heart for people. Now I didn't become perfect overnight, you know, like I'm not perfect now. You know,
That's what you're trying to say?
Yeah, you know, I became perfect last night.
Listen, just cross the bench, Mark.
Right. But no, it's just like I developed this love for people instantly, but in terms of like navigating relationships, that definitely took some time. And like over time I began to identify like, hey, what you did just offended me, you know, and we need to talk about this. You know,
But then you don't really want to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to talking about it because I'm very much like, let's get the conflict out of the way so we can go back to good times.
Oh, I see.
I'm that person.
See.
I'm like, yo, you tripping right now? What's good? You know,
Okay.
like, I'm very much like that. But then once we get through the conversation, there's forgiveness. We know each other's stand, and sometimes the forgiveness part still takes a while, you know, because it's like, I still kind of feel hurt. What if she does it again? You know what I mean? So, but that's the part you like through a particular incident that happened with a friend of mine. The Lord really taught me through that. Like, you legit have to choose to forgive, and when you choose to forgive, you're choosing to still love that person 100%, like they never did the thing that they did, you know. And that's the hard part because you have to remember, oh, I love them. I can't put that thing in the way.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's borderline impossible apart from Jesus.
Right, exactly. So you see why it was easy for me to flip the switch.
Yeah. I got
beforehand.
you. I got you. Listen, I feel you, Shawty.
Do you feel like you do that or
Flip the
have
switch
done
on
it?
people?
Yeah.
I was usually getting cut off.
Okay. So you
I have the luxury of knowing what it felt like to cut people off in droves. No, it hasn't really been a part of my personality to just kind of be like, oh, this is over because something happened. I'm just usually like, I'm usually not aware, to be completely honest. That's kind of my thing. Like, I lack awareness when it comes to other people. And I've had to learn awareness and then really plead with the people who do life with me to let me know when something's going on. Because when those expectations are there for me to just know, you're going to be the most disappointed in our friendship, because I have no idea that you wanted more, that you know I was doing too much, that you were expecting me to, behave a certain way or engage you in a certain way. Like, I didn't know, you never said. So,
and I would love to hear like what you actually mean by awareness, like, or
I lack the ability to naturally pick up what other people might be feeling.
Okay.
And there are people who I think have a more keen ability to do that. No one can see any person's heart. You know what I'm saying? And really know what's going on behind the surface. Like, nobody really can read a person's mind. But I think that there are people who are a little more sensitive to that than I am, where I could like straight up offend you and then be like, all right, so we about to leave? Like, and then you're like,
ice cream.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, you just came at me sideways. And I'm like, oh, snap. Like, like I'm just unaware in that way. So I really need people to just like, hey, if something happens, like, please know that I want there to be a culture in the dynamic of our relationship where we just feel the freedom to say whatever. And if we can figure out later whether it's, the intention was there, like, or not, and then there's understanding given, all this stuff, but just you feel the freedom to say it if it happened.
That makes sense.
And most people in my life before recently didn't feel that freedom to approach me because they thought that I was gonna kirk or like, litigate, which I do. That's my argument, or the way that I argue. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, what are you talking about? When did it happen? What did I do? What did I say? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? They're like, I don't have time for all that. Forget it. I'm not gonna say nothing. So,
so I see what you're saying. The response then from those people was to flip the switch and like move on.
Yeah. Gotcha. Well, for me, I'm like, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. But this is good. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate. Okay, that's a new one. Let me write that down.